Warning, STS Radio contains vulgar people, vulgar language, and vulgar ideas. If any of this offends you, kindly blow it out your ass.
Son of a bitch bastard!
Let's start this again. Shall we? Jesus Christ.
You're fucking retarded.
Hey, Pickle-Licker, want to play the right intro?
One more time!
Are you ready?
Oh yeah. Welcome back to a new episode of STS Radio. What's up, everybody? I'm Andrew Moss. With me, as always, Bruce motherfucking Gates.
Hey.
There he is. All right. He's like, I was hiding from you. So, yeah, man. You have a good holiday, man?
I did. How about yourself, sir?
That was pretty good, man. I can't lie.
I can't lie. I had a good time.
I was quite amused. Oh, man,
What'd you do for the holidays? Did you go somewhere? Did you stay home?
I stayed home.
Yeah.
Sadly, because I have no fucking life. That, and, places tend to be closed on Christmas, so.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, one of the things that I had gotten for Christmas was a buddy of mine and his family hooked me up with, 6 months of Netflix.
Oh, sweet.
So I've pretty much just been like a hermit, just watching TV shows and fucking movies and whatnot.
See, and you said I was hiding.
Yeah. Well,
You're the one hiding away with your Netflix,
I'm just hiding from
fucking Mad Men or whatever.
I'm just hiding from life. I'm not hiding from you, though.
I'm hiding from everything. I'm not discriminating here.
It's a beautiful day outside, but I really want to finish up the season of Code Monkeys. I gotta see what the Sinclair family's up to on the latest episode of Dinosaurs.
The latest episode.
Yeah, latest episode.
From 1992.
Yeah.
Gotta keep up to date, sir. Gotta keep up to date.
Yeah, fuck that.
You never know when fucking Eddie Sinclair will come up in conversation.
Eddie Sinclair?
Or Robbie Sinclair, wasn't that that was the brother.
That was the son,
Was
yeah.
Ed Sinclair the dad though?
Earl.
Fuck, it's been a long time, dude. See, you clearly have the Netflix rocking over there. I don't.
No, you got
At least
Netflix.
not with the dinosaurs.
Yeah, you got Netflix though, right?
I have Netflix, yeah. I just haven't been peeps in dinosaurs.
All right. Okay, let me.
We've been spending our time on far, far worse things like now you see me and shit like that. I can't pronounce any titles today. Fuck.
What the hell are you talking about?
Now You See Me, that
Now You
Morgan
See Me.
Freeman, Michael Caine
Magic movie, yeah.
magic movie, yeah. Not impressed.
I bet you would have been impressed if fucking David Bowie showed up and dance, magic, dance.
That's real magic, damn it.
It's
That's dance magic. That's the best kind.
Look at the bulge. You can at least see how the trick is done.
There's no question where he's hiding that rabbit.
That's Mick Jagger in there, I can tell. Dancing in his pants.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But, yeah, my brother was telling me this story, though. He went to Vegas a couple of weeks ago. And, something he was going to get me for Christmas was, he was going to go, catch Penn and Teller's show, because fuck it, he wants to watch it. And then he was going to grab me, a couple things autographed by them.
Nice.
Because one of the things they do is, after their show, they go out in the lobby, they meet with everybody, they talk with all the fans, and, sign autographs, pose for pictures, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I can't think of another Vegas act that actually does that. But, apparently there was, some virus breakout there, because there was, a college basketball tournament going on, or something like that, or a high school basketball tournament.
Virus is in, an illness, or a computer thing?
No, virus as in, I'm sick.
Ah, okay.
So
fucking college kids.
Yeah, so so as soon as he heard about that, he just steered clear of the Rio, and he was just like, you know what, fuck that, it's all good.
Yeah.
So he hands me this envelope. He's like, I really hope this makes up for it. I open the card. It's a picture of a pissed off looking Santa, and inside it says, "He saw everything, and you're awesome. Merry Christmas, bro, Ben." And inside was $100 bill.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, motherfucker, man. but I got him pretty good too. So
Yeah, what'd you get for him?
I got him a $20. I think it was like 20. It was 20 or $25 to Not Your Average Joe's, which is a really good place.
Oh, that's cool.
Cheap plug. And I got
Never
him.
actually been there.
It's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. That was one of the places I was thinking, like, if we couldn't find parking at the tavern that we went to yesterday, I was gonna suggest, like, let's fucking go there because it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But so I got him that, and then I got him an authentic Derek Jeter jersey because,
Cool.
and as long as I've known the motherfucker for however old he is, he's never once had a Yankees jersey. Like he's had a Cowboys jersey, had a Patriots jersey for some fucking reason. It was a phase from what I remember. So, but he had never had a Yankee jersey, and the Yankees are his favorite team. So I was just like, fuck that, man. Fucking here's a Derek Jeter jersey.
That's interesting. How could you not have the jersey of your favorite team?
I know, man. But
especially if it's your favorite team among like sports, you know.
Yeah.
Would you say that your favorite team is like of all sports is the Devils?
Yes.
I see that makes sense.
Yeah. The Devil. Like if I had to rank my teams right now, shit. Considering I'm like a fan of just like 3 sports, is like I fell out of love with basketball, so I could give 2 flying fucks about it. But yeah, Devils would be number 1, and then I don't know. It's pretty much neck and neck between the Niners and the Yankees. So, I guess like the Niners would have the edge right now because saying fuck it, it's football season. But
yeah,
that's
depends what time of year it is as to who comes into number 2.
Yeah, pretty much. Number 2
and how they're faring.
Number 2. No, not how they're faring. Like, dude, Devils started off the season without a fucking win for their first like 6 or 7 games or something like that, dude. I was still fucking rooting for them. So I'm not some fucking cheap Bruins fan that's just like, oh, they're not winning. I don't care. Fuck that. Oh, they won a game. That's it. We're winning the fucking Stanley Cup. Derp, 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 derp.
Oh man.
I know. God, I hate fucking idiots like that, man. I really do. Just annoys the shit out of me. So how you doing, sir?
Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't even get into it with you in the Bruins and hockey anymore.
Yeah,
I just give up because I know you're gonna be a Devils fan through and through.
Yep. Yeah, but from what I remember,
and you just have a general hatred for all Boston teams.
Well, yeah.
Which is just kind of funny, because it's funny in the way that the Red Sox hate, or fans of the Red Sox, some fans of the Red Sox hate the Yankees because of the whole the Babe Ruth trade and all that.
Yeah.
So there are some Red Sox fans that are Red Sox fans for the sake of being anti-Yankees, whereas there are fewer Yankees fans that are Yankees fans for being anti-Red Sox. And I wouldn't say that you're one of those, but you're definitely one of those as far as being anti-Boston teams. As far as like, oh, they're from Boston, fuck them. I don't care who they are. Like, it could be any Boston team. You're like, fuck them. I'm gonna root for the other people. Like,
dude, I
go to a Spinners game, root for fucking Detroit's team. Like,
yeah.
Why? Because this team is from Boston, and fuck them.
they're guilty by association. Fuck them.
Exactly. If you have any association with Boston, fuck you. Where do you work, Boston?
Yeah. Like, yeah, I know it's almost like the reaction that I've gotten like in the past. Like, I remember going down to New Jersey and just like straight, somebody was talking to me like, oh, where are you visiting from? I was like, from Rhode Island. They're like, oh man, you guys have really good seafood up there. I'm like, I just hate seafood. Like, how can you hate seafood and live there? I'm like, I don't have a choice.
Like, I can't choose where I was born, ma'am.
Like, I'm sorry, man. I was born in Jersey.
Oh, well, that's true. You were born in Jersey, but yeah. So wait a minute.
I was.
Why the fuck are you in Rhode Island? Well, your parents moved. So.
Yeah. So.
You don't have any choice of that.
Yeah, I didn't have a choice of that. So,
yeah.
What are you gonna do? Besides, if it were up to me, I would have a nice apartment in fucking like near the Jersey Shore or something. I don't know.
Why would you want to live near the Jersey Shore?
Oh, fuck it. The shore's nice during the summer. And then I'd have a penthouse apartment in New York if money were no object. So, stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
I don't know what I would do if money were no object as far as where I would live. There's a lot of places I'd want to see before I chose to live there, though. Like, you've obviously seen Jersey and New York. I've seen parts of Jersey and New York, but
yeah.
I don't think I'd want to live there, to be honest with you. I can't really say much for Jersey because I've only seen Red Bank, and that's a very small chunk of what Jersey is. So
yeah.
But as far as New York goes, I've seen like, Albany, I've seen New York City itself.
Yeah,
I've
like
seen a few snippets of it, but
yeah, like I've never been to Albany. I've been to like New York City. I've been, I've driven through New York to get to New Jersey, but that's pretty much it.
yeah. I mean, I dig the city, but I also kind of like quieter living. So I like something sort of in the middle, which is why I kind of like where I am now, because I am in a city, but sort of in the outskirts of the city, so I'm not like in a busy part.
Yeah, which is fine, man. Like, like if I had to live in like the Boston area, I guess like Allston would probably be like the equivalent of it. It's
Yeah.
like you're near the city, like you can literally walk into the city, but you're not in the city, so
Yeah.
and then
Because it's nice to be close to the action because there's a lot of shit to do. Like anytime you can find something to do at like any hour, pretty much.
oh hell yeah,
But at the same time, it's nice to like be able to get away and fucking sleep maybe.
yeah,
Instead of hearing like, wah, 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 wah. Like,
Yeah.
God damn it!
yeah, fucking oh man.
Trying to fucking sleep.
Then there's just that one idiot walking down the street like, free Phil Robertson.
Oh God, Phil Robertson.
Yeah, we got to talk about that too, man.
Yeah, we do. Jeez. I'm curious to hear your opinion on it, actually.
Well, we did talk about it a little bit yesterday when we were having lunch, but
That's true.
I don't think
That's
we
true.
got too in depth on it.
Yeah, yeah. We
Um,
glazed over it.
Yeah, we glazed over it, but
Like
it was-
a fine Christmas ham, we glazed over it.
damn it, no, I want lunch. Fuck this.
We'll be back after this.
What's this? We'll be back, Bruce. You're carrying you're carrying the rest of the show
Just
yourself.
make me ham.
I'm going to get a ham sandwich.
Ham sandwich.
Yeah. So, long story short, like Phil Robertson, the quote unquote patriarch of the Duck Dynasty clan, pretty much compared homosexuality to like bestiality. Said it was illogical and didn't understand it, which that's fine. He wants to say it. That's okay. It's his opinion, but with a lot of actions, there are consequences with things that you say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and a lot of people were pissed off that A&E suspended him for what, a week.
I don't know how long it was, but it was very short.
It was pretty
But
much.
yeah, it was about a week.
Yeah, it was about a week, and then they fucking caved in. They're like, "Oh, his suspension's over. He's back. Yay! Here we go." Like, okay, A&E has no fucking balls. And then one of the things I was reading was Joe Perry actually came to Phil's defense, saying, wow, another attack on freedom of speech. That's what's wrong with this country. So, I'm paraphrasing here, but.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. There's two things about it that are interesting to me. I mean, one, a lot of people are coming out about the whole, comparing homosexuality to bestiality, and I think didn't he make some sort of racist remark as well?
I think he might have. I don't have the quote in front of me, but
it's surprising to me that that's not getting as much fanfare, first of all. And second of all, I can kind of agree with the freedom of speech argument, except for the fact that, as you said, you have to kind of like consider your audience. So yes, I completely agree with his right to say his whatever he wants, but at the same time, you have to keep in mind, like, if you work for fucking Disney, you can't go out there, swearing up a storm, fucking drinking booze, and you can't. You have a certain image you have to uphold, basically,
exactly.
unless you're Justin Bieber.
In case in point, like my brother knew somebody who worked at Disney for literally less than an hour because he got fired for swearing on the job.
See, so I mean, you have to keep in mind, like, if you do something like that, there is the chance that it'll have serious repercussions that you would not approve of, whether you like it or not. I mean. That's too bad. You kind of sign that agreement of I work for you. I'll agree to provide to you kind of sign this agreement most places, no matter where you work. Like you won't defame the company in any way.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean it's not really it's not a freedom of speech issue really, if the guy didn't get arrested. Because I mean that to me says more that's a violation of free speech. You. Pardon me.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like he lost his job. I mean, I could understand, and he was suspended. I'm sure he wasn't. I don't know if they said anything about him getting paid, but if he's getting paid, then I don't really see the freedom of speech argument as being valid because he's still getting paid. He's basically just getting paid to take time off.
I imagine he was still getting royalties and whatnot, so he technically he's still getting paid.
Yeah. So,
but
I mean, it's not like we took him out of his job. It's not like people took him out of his job.
Yeah, Yeah, and I mean, like I said, man, if he had gotten arrested, I would have said, okay, you know what? Yeah, that's a violation of free speech. That's yeah.
Well,
That's
I think even
that's a
if he
clear-cut
lost his
case.
job, that would be kind of a violation of free speech. I mean, what if you said something that, you know, the company you work for doesn't agree with and they decide to fire you? Wouldn't you feel kind of like your freedom of speech was violated? Especially if you didn't say it within the confines of work, like if you said it outside?
I don't know. Like you'd have to get a little bit more detailed with the situation there. Like what did I say? You know, was you know when I got hired, you know, did I have to read something about a company code of conduct or something like that? Like you know, like if you know, like case in point, like if you're an NBA player, we'll just say, and you go out and you're pissed off about how the refs call the game and whatnot. You go into the press conference and you just slam the fucking refs left and right. Like this is a bad call. These guys are pieces of shit. Blah 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 blah. There's a repercussion for that. You normally get fined some amount of money, like somewhere between like $15,000 to like $50,000.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I guess it all goes on like how much you get paid or whatnot, but or how famous you are. You know, but yeah, there are repercussions on pretty much any job. Like if you say something wrong, like you know,
Right.
I can tell you a couple of times where you know the guys that I work with, like if they said something on the air, they've been in trouble for saying it.
Right.
You know, so I mean,
So I mean that's the thing. I mean, even if it's not in paper, I'm sure, you know, there's kind of you wouldn't go out and say something bad about your company or say something that's against your company's overall, you know, moral alignment unless you were willing to risk your job in some way, be it either a suspension or being fired.
yeah,
Because I think you just run that risk if you do something like that.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, I mean, if we take away his job, I think that would kind of be along those lines of like, well, we're kind of discriminating against him because of something he said. That's not really cool. But to suspend him, I mean, especially if he's still getting paid, is really not a big deal. He's going to go back to work. You know, I don't know. I don't really see it as a violation of free speech. No.
But I also loved how like people were pretty much justifying it, you know, jokingly in a matter of fact, like. You know, why is everybody surprised that, you know, a Christian from the South, like a Bible-thumping Christian from the South says these things? Why is everybody surprised that he said it? Nobody's surprised that he said it. Like, people are just fucking pissed off that he said it. Like,
Right.
you know, if... I'm trying to think of a good example here. I'm just kind of flustered right now.
I think you just have to accept the fact that regardless of what your mentality is, regardless of how good or evil it may be, you know,
Yeah, it's kind of
it's
like...
your opinion and you have the right to that opinion, but it doesn't mean that going out there and shouting it out on the streets or in some way making it publicly available that you're not going to get some sort of repercussion for it, especially if it's not a popular opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like like you know somebody's like grandfather or something like that still going around spouting off the N-word, you know,
Right,
and then somebody's like, well, you know, that's just how they talked in their days. That's like, well, doesn't matter. Times change here. That is not
Exactly.
something you can say now.
Exactly. Like
know,
they
like-
have the right to think that.
Yeah,
Sure.
oh, yeah, you
Does
can
that
think it all you
make
want.
them right? No, not necessarily. But I also don't think that they should be sharing that opinion because it's not the popular opinion, and there would be repercussions if they were to.
Yeah, but you know,
And whether you like it or not, that's how it is. You know.
yeah, and the other side of the argument is, well, you know, how come it's courageous for like a gay guy to come out of the closet and say I'm gay and I'm proud, blah blah blah. But if I come out and I say my opinion on homosexuality, I get, you know, stones thrown at me. It's like, well, cause fucking the guy was afraid of coming out of the closet, for example, because, you know, back in your day when he did, he would get the shit kicked out of him.
Right. Exactly. There's never been a hate crime against someone for being straight.
Exactly. Like,
You're straight. Kill them.
yeah. You want to join the army?
Chicks. Fuck them up.
You want to join the army, but you're straight? Fuck that.
Exactly right.
We only want queers in this army. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the more it seems we go forward as a country, it seems we go backwards as well.
Yeah, I completely agree.
That-
I mean, I'm obviously completely against Phil Roberts' opinion, and I know it's based entirely on his faith, which I also disagree with. But
yeah.
but again, I mean, I support the man's right to say it. I just don't think it was wise to. And for him to play the whole free speech card, you should have expected that coming, dude. I mean,
Oh, it was
just,
more.
you're not a stupid fella, you know? Like, think about it. You started an empire off of something that was so small and niche market. Like, you were able to do that. You're obviously capable of thinking through what would happen if this comes out of my mouth. Well, do that for 5 seconds.
Yeah. I was also checking on like somebody posted up like Facebook wins and fails on E-Bomb's World, and there's one. It doesn't give the person's name, but it says, "Does anyone else find it ironic that the Duck Dynasty guy compared homosexuality to bestiality when his entire job is to trick ducks into thinking he wants to fuck them?" You got a good chuckle. You got a good chuckle out of that. Fuck it, he's right.
It's as if he's tried it before. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. No wonder he got that call right. That's called research. Our R&D department likes to have sex with ducks to get the calls right. But
you know, I have to say though, maybe I used to watch the show in passing. I don't really watch it so much anymore, but I kind of stopped watching it before this whole thing even came out, just because, like I said, we used to watch it in passing. We didn't really keep up with it. It was something to watch, you know, if you wanted a cheap chuckle. But it used to kind of glaze over me, the whole like Bible references and how religious they were. Somehow I just didn't notice. But upon like repeat watchings, because they always play the same fucking episodes, like, you start to notice, like, wait a minute, they're praying at every meal. Like, Sai's mentioning that he's got a Bible on him at all times. Like, wow, these are really, like, Bible-thumping dudes. Like, I had no idea.
Not only are they thumping the Bible, they are, like, hammering the fuck out of it, man.
No shit.
Like, admittingly, like, I've never watched an episode because, fuck it doesn't appeal to me at all. Oh, look, we got a reality show about a bunch of fucking rednecks in Louisiana that made a fortune on making duck calls for hunters. I don't want to see that. I want to see, you know, the fucking hicks that came up with the idea of bottling deer piss to go and sell that to hunters. Where's that show?
Good point.
Yeah. Like, duck calls, nah. Deer piss? Fuck yeah. Sign me up.
In.
I'm in.
But yeah, the other thing too though is like it feels so scripted. Like I'm sure every show on that channel is scripted, but like you can just feel it. You know, you watch it, you're like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Like there's an episode where a fucking dude lost his ring, and the whole time it was in his pocket.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, come on.
It's
you gotta try a little bit here.
Right.
You gotta try a little bit here.
Like, that's writing along my class. Like, come on, you can do much better than this.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I submitted that plot for my script writing class in college, but
probably. The teacher probably, like, said, hey, I know a group of guys that could actually use this for a reality show.
There's these bearded folks in Louisiana.
Actually, they don't have beards right now, but we'll tell them to grow them. It'll make them seem more redneckish. Don't you agree, Mr. Gates?
Sure, go with it. Money, money, money.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you.
Oh, man.
Fucking A, man.
So, yeah, I'm not really on, like, a boycott of Duck Dynasty. I don't really give a fuck, to be honest with you, but it's not really something I was a fan of in the first place. I mean, like I said, it used to give me chuckles here and there, but
yeah,
I've moved on to greener pastures.
Honestly, man, I just...
Gayer pastures, if you will. Just to spite Phil Robertson.
Yeah, and I mean, and there was another thing too. Was like, Cracker Barrel decided to boycott like their items and just say like, look, no more.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, and then a lot of people were pissed off, like, how could you fucking do that? And I'm sitting there reading this article, going, have these motherfuckers never heard of Walmart? Like, seriously,
yeah,
like
really.
I can't go to fucking like Walmart or fucking like name any fucking store and not sneeze and see something Duck Dynasty related. Like I remember, like I was getting somebody's Christmas presents at like an FYE or something like that, and there was like a whole section of fucking Duck Dynasty stuff, posters, DVDs, fucking stuffed dolls, talking ducks.
Jesus Christ!
I was like, fucking really, man? This is fucking. Like, fucking Kiss must be shitting in their pants just going like, who do these guys think they are?
Really? It's like Phil Robertson is the next Gene Simmons.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Oh my god, man. Fuck. Seriously.
You know, no one was doing Duck Dynasty before I did Duck Dynasty. We invented Duck Dynasty.
You know, my original show was called Dick Dynasty. Then I had it changed to Kiss Dynasty because I thought that would be a little bit more marketable. Although Dick Dynasty is the name of a porno that I am producing. It's all rednecks fucking. All the time.
Bestiality.
You know, I could go for a little Dick Dynasty myself.
Oh, man.
Fucking Paul. Fucking
Yeah.
insane. He's
Fucking
insane.
Jesus Christ.
Now, Bruce, what did we say about you trying to do my voice?
That's true.
That's right, you don't do it. Okay? Unless you want to get bestiality on your ass. Don't do it.
No.
Okay.
Who do you think I am, Phil Robertson?
Well, you do with a beard.
Not like his.
Maybe a little camouflage makeup. You know, we'll paint a nice like camouflage star on your face.
Oh, Jesus.
Little lipstick. Just have you squeal like a piggy.
I need to go cry now.
And Paul Stanley wins the creep out competition.
Oh, man. Seriously, I bet Gene is really, really fucking envious of the Duck Dynasty clan.
Probably, because I...
Well, maybe not. He's making bank anyway.
Yeah, he's making like fucking like 7 figures a fucking year anyways, so I don't think he gives a shit.
Probably not.
But I mean, this is pretty much like what Kiss merchandise was like back in the day. Like you couldn't sneeze without seeing like a Kiss lamp and Kiss blankets and Kiss this, that, and the other thing.
Kiss this, that, and the other thing.
You know, you turn on the TV. Hey, there's the Kiss movie.
Kisses blood in a comic book.
Exactly, that too, man. It's exactly like that, you know?
Pretty much. Thankfully, they're not offering their blood in any products yet.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Actually.
Don't say that they are.
Well, no. They've already... Look, Bruce, we've already done that, okay? You know, just leave it alone.
No, I mean the Duck Dynasty guys. Thankfully, they haven't done that yet.
No.
They're putting blood in products.
We're putting duck blood inside of a gay man's blood, and then we're putting that on the poster. Look, there's no red on the poster. I know, but how you think we're gonna eliminate the gays? Like, okay. Okay then.
Right.
Okay then. Next question. Do you like pie?
If so, you should go to Walmart.
Exactly. But yeah, I remember posting the article about this Phil Robertson thing on Facebook and whatnot. All I said was, you know, good job, asshole. And I don't know if you remember Jessica from Riviere.
Which one? There's like 9,000 of them.
I don't want to give her last name out, but it started with an N.
Then...
It started with an N.
Maybe?
Okay. So I posted the article up, and her response, I'm going to read this, you know, verbatim here. Why is anyone surprised a man devoutly Christian following Bible principles would believe this and say this? Doesn't matter if he's Jewish, pagan, Scientologist, whatever. No one should be fired for their First Amendment right to freedom of speech, let alone of religion. Okay, that's not a violation of freedom of speech or religion. That's an illegal act of discrimination. No, it's not. Not the way it was done. No, it's not. Should Tom Cruise be banned from Hollywood movies for stating his Scientology views? No, that is freedom of religion, even though Scientology claims to not be a religion. Let's see. I may hate TV, but I do love my First Amendment rights, and that was put into place to protect unpopular speech. People can be upset about his statements, but the guy shouldn't be fired for it.
That's the thing. He wasn't fired for it.
Yeah, he was suspended, but...
Briefly.
Yeah, he was suspended for fucking, like, 2 hours. Let's see. A better way to have responded would have been to reach out to the family directly, not forcing the network to fire him. Honestly, being a divided Bible thumper. And I'm like, okay, let's rewind here a little bit. No one should be fired for their freedom of speech, or let alone freedom of religion. Okay, here's the thing. That is not a violation of freedom of speech or religion. Freedom of speech. Was he allowed to say what he wanted? Sure. Absolutely. And he's still allowed to say it. Then the guy can go to any church in America and, spout out whatever the fuck he wants. And there he goes. He's allowed to say what he wants, and it's protected under freedom of religion. Freedom of religion, though, is more of, listen, you want to practice Christianity? Go for it. You guys want to practice, Judaism? Go for it. You guys want to be pagans? Go for it. You guys go practice whatever you guys want. Doesn't matter what you want to believe in. I'll believe what I want. We'll be cool. That is freedom of religion.
So her point is that it is a violation of freedom of religion and freedom of speech because she said firing him, which is inaccurate, that he was suspended, but by punishing him in any way, it's a violation of his free speech because while he was allowed to say it, he's essentially being punished for saying it, which is sort of like saying that he's not allowed to do it. And it's also a violation of the freedom of religion in that it's based on his religious belief. Now, the problem with that is, what if I say that my religion is that it's okay to kill whomever I think is okay to kill? Like, is it going to be okay for me to go out and do that? Is that freedom of religion? No, absolutely not.
No,
of course not. No one would argue that. Now, of course, this is different. We're just talking, and this is just a dude talking about his beliefs. But, I mean, at the same time, again, it's like I said before, you have to consider there's going to be repercussions if what you say or believe is against the popular vote. Because, I mean, there's a reason that it's the popular vote. Most people think that that's the right thing. Most people nowadays, I think, are for gay rights and, for, equal rights amongst all races. But there are a small majority of people that still exist that don't believe either one of those or one of those things. And that's fine. They can believe that. But they just have to realize that if that's what they're going to believe and if that's what they're going to go out and preach, there's going to be repercussions for that. And yeah, you may get suspended. And yeah, it's going to be illegal for us to fire you. And you may feel like it's a violation of your rights for us to punish you. But I don't know. I feel like we have the right to do that if that's the majority of the vote.
But it wouldn't surprise me as well, like I said earlier, if, A&E, for example, had a code of conduct in their contract saying, like, look, if you do something that we don't agree with, we have the right to suspend you or fire you. A lot of companies have things like that. Like,
sure,
I know
my company, which is nowhere nearly as public as A&E, has something like that. I'm sure every company out there has something there in there when you get hired that says if you in some way defame the company or share any secrets or all kinds of things, there is the chance that you could have some sort of punishment instilled upon you up to and including firing.
Yeah. And I mean, freedom of speech, like, here's the thing too. It's going back to like there being repercussions. Like, back in the day, like people used to like spout off like, I want to kill the fucking president. You were allowed to say it. That's fine.
Right.
But here's the thing. If you say something like that, it depends on, honestly, on what the severity is. But, like, you go out and you say you want to kill the president, you're going to have people fucking keeping an eye on you.
Right.
That is the fucking price. You can still say it, but, there's that price of, like, hey, the government's going to be kind of watching you just because they don't want the fucking president to be shot. They're doing their fucking job in a way.
Right. If what you're saying is in some way a threat to some person or group of people, then that group of people is going to do something reactionary towards you.
Yeah.
That's just how it works. So, and what he's saying is essentially that it's not, aggressive in any way, but to compare it to bestiality and to, condescend in that way towards an entire group of people, you have to expect that group of people that you're acting that way towards is going to react against that.
Yeah. And I mean, here's another thing that kind of annoyed me about it was, people like posted up like, what other quotes that he had said in the article, supposedly. I honestly don't have the article in front of me, so fuck it, I'll go with their word and say, okay, it's from the article. He says something like, I would never disparage somebody for their lifestyle, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, it's too late. You kind of fucking did.
Mm-hmm.
And look, you compare, like, the only humorous part of it, though, was, he's like, like, I'm paraphrasing here, but he essentially said, like, I don't understand how, a guy could love another guy's ass. It's just illogical to me. Like, he just, his point being, like, I kind of chuckled, like, he was like, I don't know why a guy would like another guy's ass. I mean, you guys try pussy? I mean, pussy's amazing. But, he's also talking about how much of a sin it is, and it's like, well, weren't you guys, like, acting sinful in a way, like, before you guys became famous, like cheating on wives and fucking
Oh,
a whole
yeah.
bunch of other shit. Yeah, so, before you start throwing stones, like, fucking point at yourself and just say, well, you know what? Yeah, I'm fucked up. Okay,
One thing I really find interesting about the whole like anti-gay thing is it seems to be based off the idea that sodomy is a sin, and it seems that the majority of people who read that way also seem to equate sodomy strictly with anal sex, which is not the case. The definition of
No.
sodomy is basically sexual intercourse with any orifice which is not a vagina.
Yeah, so getting a blowjob
basically,
counts as
anytime you get
sodomy.
head, that's sodomy. So I would be willing to bet dollars to donuts that Phil Robertson is getting head from that ugly bitch, and therefore he has no fucking stance whatsoever. He talks about like rough sex and shit like all the time, like as if it's like a prize or something. I'm sure he's fucking her in the ass. I'm sure he's getting head from her. I'm sure he's violating her in ways that I don't even want to think about.
But you're gonna make me think about. Thanks.
You're welcome.
You fucking asstard.
But the point is, he's doing it, and he's basically going against his own fucking word, and doesn't even realize it. That's what's to me is so interesting, is that
It's
a lot
hypocritical.
of the people who are against this so much are also the people who are the most like exploratory and will watch like tranny porn and shit like that. So they're like, it's so funny how against their own beliefs they can be.
Oh yeah, like there was there was that pastor for like some super church. I think it was somewhere in Colorado. I want to say it was Denver, but that's probably inaccurate.
I love the phrase super church, by the way.
Yeah, or mega church or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, like I'm super church.
I'm here to impose my will on everybody.
My Bible hammer will thump the shit out of you.
But not in the ass.
So
That's a sin.
now who's ready for some cake and sodomy? I just forgot the point I was gonna make.
So there was a super church in Colorado.
Right. Guy's name was Ted something. Like I can't remember the guy's name. It was Ted something, but he was a pastor there, and he was always spouting off about how homosexuality is a sin and blah blah blah. It's fucking wrong. It's against the Bible. It's against God. Blah blah blah. 3 months after this guy. He was in some documentary I was watching on HBO. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I gotta do fucking research before these fucking things, but that and wake up a little bit more. But he got busted at a hotel with a male prostitute.
What a surprise.
I know. And I love their fucking response to it was, let's send him to a camp, like a religious camp, and we'll pray the gay away. And it's like, that's not exactly how it fucking works.
No kidding. Jeez, man.
Yeah.
People worry me.
Yeah. And as soon as he got out of the religious camp and whatnot, and he was like, I love women, blah, blah. Homosexuality is a sin. I am cleansed of my sins, blah, 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 blah. He got fired from the fucking church. I was like, well, you know what, man? You got what you fucking deserve. I'm sorry, so fuck you.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. When you repress people from something, they're going to want it more. I mean, look, I hate to, bring this up because it is a very big stain in the Catholic Church, but look at the whole, priest abuse scandal. Why? I mean, think about other churches. Has anyone ever looked into other churches that allowed their priests to marry and see if there was the same rate? Because I'd be willing to bet that the rate of the incidence of abuse was far, far less in those, like, Episcopalian churches, for example, where the priest is allowed to marry. Because when you repress some sort of part of a person like that, it's bound to come up that they're going to want that part even more. So they're going to take it out probably in really strange ways as a result, or in ways that are convenient to them without getting caught, So you have to, I don't know, you can't really, oh man, the Catholic Church scares me. That's all I can say.
Are you betting more donuts on that one?
I'm betting more donuts and dollars.
I love donuts too.
Donut holes?
But yes. The hole's the best part. So, but yeah, man, it's the way I think of it, like human nature is pretty much like this, man. Like, you ever like put your thumb on like a water fountain or like a sink or something like that, and the water still comes through. Mm-hmm. That's human nature. Like no matter how much you try and press it to try and stop it, that urge, the water, if you will, it's going to find a way to come out, and people will still be able to enjoy their water.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, honestly, yeah, like there are sexual behaviors I don't fucking agree with. Obviously, bestiality being one of them. Having sex with children is another one. I fully disagree with that. But if another guy wants to bang another guy in his leather Cheerio, fucking go for it. Go for it. I'm all for that. You want to do that and be happy, go for it. You're not harming anybody. You're consenting adults. Have at it.
Right.
Yeah. I do think it was kind of funny though. Phil Robertson didn't mention anything about lesbians though.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like a lot of the anti-gay movement is strictly, no guy versus guy, and if it's like two lesbians, it's like, it's okay.
Yeah, they're like lesbians are sexy. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Right. Right.
But a guy banging another guy in an ass, like, that's illogical.
That's just wrong.
That's just wrong, boy. I would drown you in a swamp for that one.
Exactly. It's just so strange, people's thought process.
It really is, man. It's yeah, and again, like it's no excuse for him to everybody saying, hey, well, he's a Bible thumper from Louisiana that is strictly Christian believer and blah 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 blah. It's like that's no excuse.
Right. Just because we can expect it doesn't mean that he should say it.
It's almost like saying, well, I didn't mean to rape that girl. I was drunk. It's like, well, it doesn't matter. You did it.
Right.
Okay.
Like just because I know someone is a neo-Nazi doesn't mean that doesn't mean that I'll be okay with them coming out and saying, something against Jews. Like, it's think about it if it were something else, if it were some other cause. And I'm sure that the people who are, saying what they are against, or for Phil Robertson wouldn't say the same thing necessarily, unless, maybe it is race related, then maybe they would.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. But yeah.
It's just scary because in so many ways you think the world is progressing, and then you see or hear something like this and you realize that it's really not.
And not only that, man, but like I was just here's another thing I was kind of appalled about. Like I was appalled by the amount of support the guy's gotten.
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, what the fuck is this? Like, the guy's like a child. Like he says something wrong. Like your child swears. Like, okay, yes, you punish him. The guy's got to be like a child. Oh my god, man.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting situation.
Okay. Okay. But like I actually have some of the article in front of me. Like here's something else that he had said. I gotta kind of calm down here. Now the article says, despite Phil's strong words, however, he insists he's a Christian who doesn't condemn others, even if they are, quote, sinners in his mind. We never ever judge someone on who's going to heaven, hell. That's the Almighty's job. We just love them, give them the good news about Jesus. Whether they're homosexuals, drunks, terrorists, we let God sort them out later. You see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, for one thing, when you die, that's pretty much it. Like, game over. I'm sorry.
Well, then why, if that's the way you feel, then why compare it to something that is...
Yeah, why compare
like bestiality? Like, why would you do that?
Yeah, why compare a guy having sex with another guy with a guy fucking a turtle or something like that?
Right.
Like, okay, guy fucking a turtle. Like I said, guy fucking a turtle. Okay, I'm get out of here. Done. Like,
right.
Like you're going to jail. That turtle cannot say yes or no. So sorry, you're done.
Like I will agree with you that bestiality is that's really the problem, is for him to say that homosexuality in his opinion is a sin is fine because that's his opinion, and I don't necessarily agree with it, but that doesn't mean that he can't say it. But for him to make a comparison as wild as saying that homosexuality is the same thing as someone having sex with an animal is actually passing judgment on it at the same time. So while you're saying that you're not passing judgment, you actually are in your word choice.
Yeah.
And that's really the problem, is not your belief, it's that you're passing judgment
your
as
choice
well.
Of words, yeah. And so it's almost like what the hell was it? Dog the Bounty Hunter. This is almost like the same fucking thing in a way.
Yeah, it
Like,
really
you
is.
remember when he went spouting off, the whole N-word fucking rant on the phone to his son or something like that, and fucking A&E was just like, get the fuck out of here.
Mhm.
I'm surprised there weren't people that were like up in arms going, no, that's his freedom of speech, blah blah blah. He didn't know he was being recorded, blah 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 blah. It's like, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Don't fucking say it. Like, you say things like that, there are repercussions.
It's because the people who decide to speak up always tend to be the really like Christian Bible thumping, really moral people.
Yeah.
And those are the people who I hate to say are more likely to be racist and more likely to be anti-homosexual. Therefore, they will speak up and defend things that are against homosexuality, but they'll still stay quiet on any race issues because, well, it doesn't really, bother them if we discriminate against black people or Hispanics because, well, that's okay with them.
Yeah, unless it's on like Fox News and they're saying, well, Santa Claus is white and Jesus is white. That's the way it is.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
I was like, yeah.
It's okay, everybody. Santa's white. Don't worry.
Yeah,
like, what?
Yeah, you mean to tell me an imaginary character that humans created to fly around the world and deliver presents is a fucking big fat white guy? Like, okay, well, no, sorry, it's not flying. Besides, like back in the days, like, okay, when the human population was like, little scatterings of people all over the world and whatnot, and the image of Santa in the workshop making dolls and little wooden toy trains, like, all right, you can get by with that. But now when kids are asking for fucking iPads and fucking Xbox Ones, you really think Santa's elves are in the shop just going like, all right, one more little twist and the Xbox One's disk drive should be just good to go. Here we go. Like, sorry, it doesn't exactly work like that. Like, you gotta question it a little bit.
Well, I mean,
but,
not saying anything for children's intelligence. You have to realize that kids don't really think of things like that.
Dude, I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts here.
Sorry, I was quoting Jason Lee. I had to.
But here's the thing too. Like I'd bet dollars to donuts. Like, kids, if you got rid of Santa Claus, I bet kids wouldn't fucking bat an eye because they're just like, you know what? We're still getting presents Christmas. Fucking A.
Right. I mean, the real thing with coming out and being like, no, it's okay, Santa's white, is like, why is that necessary? Like you said, it's a fictional character that parents use to, explain why it is that we get presents on this day. That's not necessarily religious. I mean, you can tie it to religion if you want to, but it's the popular thing that people do, so they go along with it,
Yeah, it's like a little game.
But
what
does it matter what his race is? He could be black, he could be white, he could be fucking... It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter at all.
But
in all technicality, he's an elf. He's not any race except for fucking elf. Okay? Didn't you watch that? You watched Santa Claus is Coming to Town. You saw fucking Burgermeister and the elf and shit. He grew up with elves. For all intents and purposes, he's an elf.
Yeah, but
fucking argument done.
Yeah. You know what? I'll just say with that, just go, you know what? He's got an origin story right there. He's done.
There you go. You're done. Sort of like saying Superman. Is he white or black? Neither. He's fucking Kryptonian. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, there
he's
we
not
go.
African American. He's not European. Motherfucker's from Krypton.
There we fucking go, man.
What color is his skin? What does it matter? He's from Krypton.
But also for the lady on Fox News to go like, well, Jesus is white. That's it. I'm like, okay, we're talking about another imaginary character.
To be fair, there is historical proof of Jesus, which, by the way, points him in the area of, like Egypt in the Middle East, which would make him not white, but whatever.
Yeah, which you're going to tell me he's like the only fucking white guy in the Middle East.
Right.
No, I can't go with that.
I'm sorry, but your evidence is based entirely on a book that contains only men, so.
Yes. And not only that, but like, let's just say, for example, he was white. Let's just say that, for example. Would that not mean that fucking, what's his fucking mother's name? Fucking Mary or something like that, right?
Jesus' mother's name? Yes, is Mary.
Yes. So would that not point out that Mary had a fucking relationship with somebody else? Like, we'll just say, like, it was some sailor from England, like, sailing around there, maybe going to get spices or something. I don't know. But
well, the story is Joseph was her husband and she gave birth through immaculate conception, meaning that they did not have sex for her to bear a child. However, there has been historical evidence of Jesus having brothers and sisters, so therefore it is very likely that she was not a virgin, so to speak, but that that particular birth, according to, the spiritual aspect, is that it was a birth without having sex, which, I mean, they were a married couple. They did have other kids by having sex. Is it so unlikely they'd have another one by having sex?
Possibly, but I mean, here's the thing as well. Like, a lot of people always say, like, "Oh, Jesus isn't Jewish." I'm like, bullshit, he isn't. You really like, you rewind back to those days, man. Like, there was no fucking.
He preached the Torah.
Yeah, he preached the Torah. His name, from what I remember, was like Rabbi Ben Yosef or something like that.
That I don't know.
I'm trying to remember this because I do remember a little bit from fucking Bible study courses at fucking Riv, which are stupid.
He definitely wasn't Christian because, well, he had to die in order for Christianity to start. So
yeah, and not only that, but like, but not only that, but like, there was no such thing as Christianity back in those days. There wasn't.
Right.
Christianity wasn't invented until or wasn't like deemed as
like
a
I said, until Jesus died,
well,
and actually it was years after that.
Yeah, it was like hundreds of years after his death.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of people will point out, like, well, Jesus was resurrected because, like, if when they went back into the cave to get his body or whatnot, or see that he was still there, his body was gone. It's like, grave robbers? That's a possibility there. But, just because something wasn't there doesn't mean, like, oh my god, that's it, he's back up, he's walking around. It's like, it doesn't work like that. It's like, like, look, if I had a DeLorean, man, I would take fucking Andrew Lincoln with me, just drive back to those days. And if we see a guy get up from the fucking grave, we'll just be like, okay, yes, he actually did it. Now go get him, Rick. Come on. Carl! Only we could tie Jesus to the fucking Walking Dead.
No kidding.
Carl!
Well, he was the original Walking Dead, I suppose.
I suppose, but
if you believe in that.
Yeah, but I do remember watching a documentary, though. It was like the history, like Viking history, like Viking mythology history or something like that. And Thor dies in this battle with this giant like serpent and what have you. And there's two people left on the earth, and that's how their Bible, if you will, ends. And the reason that Christianity's Bible starts off with the Adam and Eve thing was to get them to convert to Christianity, because it starts off, God creates the earth in 7 days and whatnot. And then there's Adam and Eve, first quote unquote two people on earth.
Mm-hmm.
And it just goes from there. It's like, hey, look, no, there's more to the story here. Look, here it is. And it's like, no.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you have to consider that some of the Bible, like the story in Adam and Eve, there's not necessarily historical proof for it, and so it's generally accepted that those stories are fiction. And as a result, you have to consider that there are probably aspects of other stories that, regardless of having historical basis, could contain aspects that are fictional. Jesus, but
Noah's Ark.
Right. I mean, there are just some things. I mean, you have to believe that the authors were exaggerating. And I said before that the book was all men. It's not all men, but consider the fact that any man in any kind of power, with the exception of like Delilah, really, were all of those people were men. It wasn't really any woman that had any power except for like Delilah cutting off Samson's hair and fucking Herod's wife, who ordered John the Baptist to be killed.
Pardon me. But
so I mean, it's very very biased, is what I'm getting at.
I would love to talk to Phil Robertson, though, in a way, like, just be like, look, you follow the Bible to a T, right? Like, just everything about the Bible is the Word of God, blah 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 blah, right? Yeah. Okay. Then I guess you agree with the part in the Bible where it says it's okay to sell your daughter into slavery, or that if somebody has long hair, be it a damnation unto his family, which every quote-unquote picture of Jesus that we see is this guy walking around with long hair.
Not to mention the entire, Robertson clan.
Yeah.
Except for, like, one dude.
And I think there was another part in the Bible, basically, I forget the exact quote, but it was basically saying, like, if a woman's on her period, you stay the fuck away from her. Which, Penn and Teller brought up a good point when they did an episode of Bullshit on this, was, they quote that part of the Bible, and they're just like, yeah, how about you go to traffic court and explain to the judge why you can't approach the bench? Done. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, the whole concept of, just religion in a way in general, I guess, is just fucking ridiculous. Like, I got friends of mine up at the Pawtucket, and they're a Jewish family, but they've never once said, like, why don't you become Jewish or whatnot? Why don't you try and convert to this? They've never done that.
Mm-hmm.
I've participated in some Jewish, like Jewish ceremonies.
Ceremonies.
Yeah, like there was my friend's father passed away a couple of years ago, so we went to the funeral and whatnot, and we said our goodbyes to the father as well, and then I forget the name of the period that follows, but it's basically like 5 days of mourning or something like that. Like you essentially just sit in your house, like remember the dead and whatnot, and usually people will bring food for you. But every night they do a like a little prayer and whatnot, like a Jewish prayer and whatnot, to bring an end to the day. He calls me up one day. He's like, "Hey, I know you're not religious or whatever have you, but would it be possible for you to come over here, and it's like, we need a certain number of people to do this prayer thing. Would you mind coming over and helping us out with that?" I said, "Absolutely, man." So, it was kind of interesting. You just put on the yarmulke, and somebody spouts off a prayer in Hebrew and whatnot. So, I'm not entirely against religion, like. If that's what gets you through the day, in a way, all right, fine, but, just leave me and my fucking beliefs alone as well.
Yeah. It's just interesting to see that, like, some religions are more apt to try to convert people, whereas others aren't. Like, as you say, this Jewish family that, they have no intention whatsoever of trying to convert you over to their religion. And it's not as though, Christians are actively going out and being like, you should convert to Christianity. Because I'm sure you have Christian friends who are Christian that haven't tried to convert you. But at the same time, you don't really hear Jewish people coming out and being like, you shouldn't eat that because it isn't kosher. Like, that's what they believe, but they're not going to tell you not to do it because you might not believe it. Whereas Christians will.
No, but I mean,
like, you shouldn't have sex with another guy because it's a sin. Like,
no, but my yeah, but my Jewish buddy though, he's like, if we go out and like get burgers or something like that, he'll get it with fucking bacon on it, because he's like, you know what, man? Like, back in those days, yeah, okay, pork wasn't exactly the greatest thing in the world. It could kill you, yes. He's like, nowadays, we have the FDA, there's regulations on, how pork should be cooked, how it should be kept and whatnot. So he's like, nowadays, perfectly fine.
Well, but that's the thing. I mean, no one's gonna it's not like he was gonna tell you shouldn't get, something that you were going to eat because it's against his beliefs. Like, no one, I don't think, really does that. But
no,
at the same time, like I said, it seems like Christians are more apt to come out and not speak about their beliefs, whereas other religions not so much.
Yeah,
which is just strange. Like, why the need?
It's almost like, you're trying to have sex with a girl, in her ass and whatnot. She's like, no, that's a sin against God. It's like, we're having sex and we're not married. Like, it's not to have a child. I think you're 1 for 4 on the Catholicism scale out right now.
Why are we picking and choosing?
Yeah, this isn't exactly, a cafeteria Catholicism here. You can't just pick and choose what you believe. Either you believe the whole fucking thing or none of it at all.
Cafe de Christ.
Yeah, hi, can I have let's see, premarital sex, low on the sin, let's see.
Missionary only.
Oh man. But yeah, man, it's the whole thing is fucking ridiculous. Be it religion or Duck Dynasty. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, though, everybody on Duck Dynasty can go fuck themselves.
Like sheep.
Yep.
There's just more to offer.
Exactly. If I could throw my 2 cents in here, it just seems like if you're bisexual, that just means you've got more options. That means, the market's wide open. You don't have to, settle for the regular rolls or the garlic bread. You can have them both if you'd like.
Oh, man. That's fantastic.
Every time I do that Paul Stanley voice, a part of my brain just dies.
I'm not surprised.
But, a lot of people, like, I don't, sin doesn't exactly mean really anything nowadays. Like, a lot of people, like, okay, let me try and rephrase this. Like, back in, like, those days, let's just say, like, let's say they have everything that we have now and whatnot. Like, we'll go back to, we'll basically say, like, their civilization as advanced as ours now and whatnot, but they still have their religious beliefs at an all-time fucking peak. Chances are you wouldn't be able to put a devil on a cartoon devil on a box of, like, red hot candies, for example. You probably wouldn't be able to have fucking devil's food cake.
Yeah, standards have definitely changed, and certainly more so nowadays than ever.
Yeah, and, like, I would say, like, 99.999% of metal would not fucking exist. With the exception of Stryper and quote-unquote Christian rock. Which I fully agreed with fucking Hank Hill when he's just like, he goes to grab his son from a Christian rock concert, and he's like, look, you're not making Christianity better, you're just making rock and roll worse. I'm like, that's the first time I fucking agreed with you on something here. Like, Jesus Christ.
Man. That's hilarious. Because it's true.
Yeah. But, in closing, fuck Duck Dynasty.
What a political episode.
Yeah. Anyways, let's do some more dick jokes. Like, I got M&Ms right now. Hey, these are racist M&Ms. There's only red and green ones, motherfuckers. Actually, that brings me back to a good point.
Uh-oh.
Now, let's say, for example, aliens land on Earth.
Okay.
How fucking fast are they going to leave the planet when they see people like that explaining why one person can't love another one because, quote-unquote, it's a sin, and trying to explain the whole concept of God. And then there's other people in the world going, like, look, these guys are fucking wrong. This is what's really going down. And then there's another group saying, like, no, those infidels are wrong. This is the true thing. Like, stop drawing fucking Muhammad. You're dead. Done. And then there's another group that says, like, look, all those fucking groups are fucking bullshit. We don't know how we came here. Can you help us try and understand? You have more advanced technology. Maybe you can help us out with this. Who knows? Maybe we came from you. But
meanwhile, the aliens are zapping us all to death.
Pretty much, yeah.
Hey, you, could you...
Also, figuring that they, can understand our language.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's another thing, too.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't be anything like, what was that?
Mars Attacks?
No, the signs there, where they fucking... They come to Earth and they can't be touched by water, even though, it's a humid environment.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Never saw that movie, but, I was just like, fuck it, Mel Gibson, fuck you. Fuck it, that's another.
M. Night Shyamalan, a ding dong.
Yeah. But fucking Mel Gibson, that's another fucking thing. When he went off on his anti-Jewish remarks, yeah, there were fucking repercussions for that, were there not?
Yeah, absolutely. And no one was like, oh, what about his freedom of speech?
Yeah. Nobody was all about freedom of speech when it came to Mel Gibson.
Again, it's only the Christians that feel the need to defend and to attack.
Yeah.
Every other religion is perfectly okay. If you want to join our religion, great. If you don't, fine. You know, if you want to hear what we have to say, cool. We'll tell you. If you don't, we're not going to just come out and, shout it from the mountaintops. Every other religion seems to be content within themselves.
Exactly.
Except for Christianity. That's the one spot about Christianity that really bugs me, is that as a whole, any branch of Christianity seems to have that need for preaching, and it's just really bothersome. I know Penn Jillette in his book, he talks about proselytizing and how he enjoys it because it means that, the people really have faith. But at the same time, like I can appreciate their faith, but it's still fucking annoying. And if I don't believe it, just leave me the hell alone, No, Bruce. And leave everyone else alone. Let them make their own fucking decisions. What does it matter what you have to say about it?
Now, Bruce, rewinding. Did you just mention a-hole?
A-hole. I'll bet my dollars to an a-hole.
So, Bruce, what are you doing later?
Getting donuts.
You and me both, man. You and me both. You motherfucker. Oh, man. I think we gotta end on that. Gotta end on a dick joke while we're ahead.
Sounds good, sir.
Somebody mentioned head.
Fuck! Sodomy!
Oh, man.
Let's go get some donuts.
Yeah, fuck this. Fuck the podcast. Let's go get donuts.
Fuck. Funny enough, Liz is going to be bringing me munchkins. Donut holes, if you will. Oh, shit.
I'm getting more interested in Bruce. He keeps talking about nut holes.
Nut holes.
Oh, man. You got anything to plug, sir?
No, nothing at all.
Not even another man's ass. I'm proud of you.
No. Quite good with that. Thank you.
All right, everybody, you can check out past episodes on iTunes, Spreaker.com. You can also email the show, sts_radio@yahoo.com. Check us out on Twitter @STS_radio, and check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/STS_radio. You sure you got nothing else to plug?
Well, you can always check out our friends at the Mike and Billy Show.
Oh, very, very nice. Very nice.
Uh-huh.
Good guys. You can also follow them on Spreaker. They're up on Facebook as well. We're good friends with them, so if you go to our page, you can follow the links there. So, pardon. Practicing my duck calls. All right, catch you later, everybody.